Over at Marvel Comics, the publisher just released their full solicitations advertising all their comic books for the month of August, and their solicitations had fascinating comic books, including a new look at Al Ewing's upcoming Marvel title, The Immortal Thor. Plus, so many developments are heating up in the world of the X-Men, thanks to the FallofX crossover that the X-Men are just about to go ahead and head into. We're going to be covering a couple really anticipated titles from that line, and a couple new miniseries, as well as a return to some lingering plot threads over from Dark Web in the Spider-Man comic book. My name is Arako Braddock, and today let's go ahead and dive into 5 of my most anticipated Marvel comics for the month of August. And I want to go ahead and encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button if you enjoy our content. Let's go ahead and kick off our list with a highly anticipated comic book over from one of my favorite modern Marvel writers, Al Ewing. Here's a look over at Immortal Thor #1. Again, this is written from Al Ewing, featuring art from Marvel Comics Stormbreaker, Martin Coccolo, and a beautiful cover over from Alex Ross that we have on the screen right now. I want to go ahead and read off Marvel's solicitation advertising this new issue. Al Ewing, Martin Coccolo, and Alex Ross give the God of Thunder the immortal treatment. The gods now know him as Asgard's king, keeper of Mjolnir, hero of the tales. When injustice grips the earth and powers bring down the sky, he fights for those who cannot. And when the tale is done, we will know what cost him. This is the story of the Immortal Thor, plus a bonus page written by Jonathan Hickman, Who Are the Gods? So this one is fun for a variety of reasons. I think chief among them is the fact that Al Ewing is starting a new kind of ongoing run with a character. He's delivered such fantastic material over to the Hulk franchise, to the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. I always say Al Ewing is such a steward of Marvel Comics continuity. I'm not very familiar with Martin Coccolo, but very excited to kind of get more used to his art over in this title. Really love the cover featuring some artwork from Alex Ross, and also the kind of return to a more classic design for Thor. Finally, I can tell just by reading some of the characters off in the solicit that Al Ewing is really looking to expand the world of kind of Thor. So really excited that it looks like there's going to be so much continuity tackled in this new Thor ongoing series. Let's go ahead and talk about our second book. This is Uncanny Avengers #1. We've known about this for quite a while now. So excited to finally get it over in the month of August. We even got a free comic book day preview. This issue, Uncanny Avengers #1, is written by Gerry Duggan, featuring artwork and cover over from Javier, Garron. It's actually going to be a 5-issue miniseries according to Marvel solicits. The FallofX calls for the return of the Avengers Unity Squad. Innocent people and world leaders are dead after simultaneous attacks on the US and Krakoan governments, and that means one thing: it's time for a new squad of Avengers. False flag attacks meant to whip up anti-mutant hysteria are unfolding. And hey, some of Steve Rogers' best friends are mutants. Your new Unity Squad is Captain America, Rogue, Deadpool, Quicksilver, Psylocke, and Monet. They must solve the mystery of who the new murderous Captain Krakoa is and stop his team of killers from igniting the fires of a new Cold War. Very excited for Uncanny Avengers. I really do think that this is going to be an interesting moment over for Gerry Duggan as he's kind of returning to the Uncanny Avengers. He's had a previous run over on this book. I feel like the stakes and context of the book are going to be so much different now that the Krakoa status quo is fleshed out over in Marvel Comics, especially as we're about to gear up into the FallofX crossover. I really like the kind of political intrigue that we got over in the free comic book day issue of the series. The new Captain Krakoa is very, very intriguing, and some of his sort of like violent scenarios in that free comic book day issue were super, super harrowing. Very excited to check this out. Also really like Javier Garron's really expressive artwork. So excited for this new volume of Uncanny Avengers. I want to head over into our next book. This is the Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1, written by Erica Schultz, featuring art from Julian Shaw and a cover by Corin, Howell. Let's check out our solicit over from Marvel. Hallows Eve returns. Hallows Eve's big play to break Chasm out of jail. You don't want to miss this. Plus, find out what the Hellfire Gala means to the Spider-Man world this year. It's intense. So, couple things about Erica Schultz. She's actually coming in over from the Hallows Eve miniseries over at Marvel. I really like some of the writing that Schultz has lent over to kind of Hallows Eve. I think the like noir scenarios over for Janine and that comic book series have been really fascinating to read. Not familiar with Julian Shaw or Corin Howell, the kind of cover artist of the issue and interior artist, but excited to go ahead and check it out. I love how the kind of masks of Hallows Eve are teasing her powers over on the issue. And I think that this cover is really beautiful. Exciting for Spider-Man to kind of head back into the Hellfire Gala this year. And also really excited to kind of see what the follow-up for Dark Web is and how Janine is going to try and break Chasm out of the Limbo Embassy that Madeline Pryor is operating out of. Super excited to go ahead and see that story kind of take shape over in this amazing Spider-Man Annual. I'm also super excited for this upcoming issue of X-Men. This is X-Men 25, written over from Gerry Duggan, featuring artwork from Stefano Caselli and a cover from Joshua Cassara. The Fall. She's been known as Kitty, Sprite, Ariel, Red Queen, and Captain Kate. Now, as a new X-Men team finds their way through their darkest hour, Shadowcat emerges. Really been enjoying some of the off-the-wall cliffhangers and writing over from Gerry Duggan in this main Marvel X-Men series. I don't think the status quo for Kitty Pryde was fleshed out super coherently in the pages of the most recent Marauder series. Very excited to get Kitty Pryde returning to the pages of X-Men because I really like this comic book and I like the kind of direction that Gerry Duggan strikes in this series. Also, some of the artwork from Stefano Caselli is really quite beautiful. Caselli draws these really tense facial expressions that sort of capture the melodrama of the X-Men really well without leaning too far into that direction. Super excited to go ahead and check this one out. Love the cover, teasing some FallofX stuff as well, and Orcus. Okay, let's go ahead and shoot into our next title. This is the Captain America finale, featuring the end of Captain America's latest comic book series. Let's go ahead and dive into this one. Captain America Finale 1 features writing over from Jackson Lanzing and Collin Kelly. We're taking a look over at this cover from Carmen Carnero, who is also delivering some of the art over on the issue. Cap's final stand. Captain America takes his final stand against the Outer Circle using information gathered from friends on the inside. Steve Rogers sets his sight on releasing the world from the Outer Circle's influence and ending the Century game for good. The explosive conclusion to the groundbreaking story of Sentinel of Liberty is here, and you won't want to miss it. And so this one is really notable because it features the end of the kind of Captain America Sentinel of Liberty comic book, which has actually been a pretty solid run over on the character. I really think that writers Collin Kelly and Jackson Lanzing have a deep understanding of Steve Rogers and were able to kind of collect so many fascinating plot threads for him. Love the team of invaders that were assembled on this new series, and I actually think that the kind of villains, the antagonists, the Outer Circle definitely have an interesting message for how they kind of symbolize some of the lingering evils of capitalism. I really like it when Marvel's kind of Captain America series dives into some political ideas because I think it makes the writing feel a little bit more charged and powerful in some contexts. Okay, and let's go ahead and head into our bonus issue. I always like to cheat and include one additional comic book in these videos. There were so many intriguing comic books to pick from. I was tempted to pick this latest issue of Iron Man, some other title that would tie into FallofX or Marvel Age 1000. But at the end of the day, the one that won out for me was RealmofX. This one is written by Torunn Gronbekk, featuring art by Diogenes Neves and a cover from Stephanie Hans. Leaping straight from the astonishing events of this year's Hellfire Gala, the unlikely team of Magic, Mirage, Marrow, Dust, and Typhoid Mary find themselves stranded in Vanaheim. And what's even more confusing, the locals seem to believe that they hold the key to fulfilling a prophecy that can either raise the realm to riches or cause it to fall to ruin. With Magic's powers malfunctioning and a mysterious figure amassing power on the outskirts of the realm, these X-Men are going to have to band together if they want to stay alive long enough to find their way home. So I have to say there are so many intriguing aspects about this book. Firstly, I've really enjoyed Torunn Gronbekk's writing over in the kind of Thor book. I'm curious if these kind of realms are going to bring back any Thor continuity over into kind of this comic book series. I really like the cast too, with characters like Magic, Mirage, Typhoid Mary. I think it's a super interesting cast of characters that I'd honestly like to get to know a little bit better. Diogenes Neves is a really great artist and will probably lend some fascinating interiors to it. Also, I really enjoy Stephanie Hahn's cover over on this debut issue as well. So really looking forward to Realm of X coming in over from Marvel in the month of August. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to so many of these X-Men comic books. I think it's a really bright spot in terms of Marvel's publishing line. So those were some of my most anticipated comic books over for the month of August. I think we have so many X-Men comics to look forward to, as well as a fascinating new kind of look over at Spider-Man's trip to the Hellfire Gala this year. I want to know from you, which of these comics are you most excited for over in the month of August? Did I leave out any issues that you're looking forward to? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for coming to check out our video. And of course, we'll be back really soon for DC solicits and everything comic book related in the very near future. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.